Whenever you're changing fabric thickness significantly, just like you adjust a hoop, I need you to adjust the presser foot setting on the machine itself, and that's how far down that presser foot comes. So when the needle goes down, the presser foot comes down and it's pressing against that material, and you can change how high that is or how far off that needle plate that is, or essentially how much it's squishing the fabric. So to access that, you'll go into the software, but before we do that, we're going to need to access an adjustment gear, and that gear is right back behind the needle case. You can do this without moving the needle case. It's completely fine. Just for your visuals and so that you can see and it's easier to show on camera, I'm going to go ahead and move the needle case over before I'm ever in any menu that would change these key commands. All right, so now I'm going to access menus in the software. In the software, go to Tools, Maintenance, and the Head Timing tab. And now we're going to go to bottom center, but before I do, I want to make sure that nothing but the fabric is under the needle because it's going to cause the needle to come down very quickly. So I'm going to click on bottom center. This will take the needle to its bottommost rotation. So now we've dropped that needle, it's in its bottommost rotation. I can see the presser foot behind it. I'm looking down in here, and I also have access to the adjustment gear here. Again, if you didn't move the needle case, you still have access to that gear. It's just really hard to show on camera if the needle case is in the way, so that's the only reason I moved this over. So here's the adjustment gear, and what we're looking for is where this presser foot hits this material. As I roll this clockwise, it raises that presser foot, and you can see there's a gap that begins to form. And then as I rotate it the other direction, it lowers that presser foot. And what I'm looking for is just to press into the fabric just slightly. The easiest way for me to remember how to do this is if I put my thumb on the gear and roll up, the presser foot goes up. If I put my thumb on the gear and roll down, the presser foot goes down. You will only notice these changes when the presser foot is in its bottommost rotation. Once you're finished, go ahead and click on Head Up. That will bring the needle back to a head up position, and then you can click OK to get out of this menu. As you're now out of those menus, if you want to kick that thread back, if there's one hanging, you can do that by pressing the adjustment in the center key. That will close the grabber, kick that thread back into this trap, and then you can do it again to kick the grabber back forward. Where do I adjust the presser foot, and where does it normally stay for me? So for most of the things, I like to just press into the fabric a little bit. If it's really squishy, I might go ahead and press in a little bit more, so things like a really plush towel. But where is that setting for me? A lot of the times, a lot of the things I'm sewing, polos, t-shirts, those kinds of things, it's either all the way down, and a click or two up. Thicker things, maybe a click more than that. Where it starts to change a little bit more than that is when you're dealing with caps or really fluffy towels or really thick coats or saddle blankets or things like that. But now you've got your presser foot adjusted for this material. You don't need to do this again until you are sewing some other fabric.